Well, hello everyone and good morning. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to our Spring 2021 Peoria Showcase. We are so glad you've come along on this journey with us and celebrating everyone's hard work this semester. To start us off today, ASU Sustainable Cities Network acknowledges the 22 Native nations that have inhabited this land for centuries. Arizona State University's 4 campuses are located in the Salt River Valley on ancestral territories of many indigenous peoples, including the Akimel O'odham, or Pima, and Peepash, or Maricopa Indian communities. Their care and keeping of these lands allows us to be here today. ASU acknowledges the sovereignty of these nations and seeks to foster an environment of success and possibility for Native American students and patrons. We are advocates for the incorporation of indigenous knowledge systems and research methodologies within contemporary research practices, and ASU welcomes members of the Akimel O'odham and Peepash and all Native nations to the university. My name is Steve Russell. I'm the program manager for the Project Cities program here at Arizona State University and the Sustainable Cities Network.
Hi, good morning. My name is Ann Richmond. I am the director of ASU's Sustainable Cities Network and Project Cities program. So I want to welcome you all today. A little bit about the Sustainable Cities Network. It was founded in 2009 as an education and outreach program of the Global Institute of Sustainability at the time, and then also the School of Sustainability. Our mission is really to convene the cities, towns, tribal communities, counties, and those involved in sustainability throughout the state of Arizona, and provide them with a bridge to ASU's research and grant opportunities. We do a lot of best practice sharing. We convene on work group topics such as renewable energy, green infrastructure, climate and resilience, all with the mission of providing more sustainable communities on an individual community basis, regionally and statewide. And we're thrilled to have our Project Cities as one of our signature programs. So we're very excited to have our student showcase today. And as part of that, we want to extend our gratitude to our colleagues with the city of Peoria, and in particular, our Project Cities liaison, Jay Davies. Jay has been a joy to work with over the last couple of years. He serves in the coordinator role on Peoria's side of the partnership and also directly mentors and supports students this semester himself. We couldn't do it without him, and we so appreciate his good nature and his we're very fond of his sense of humor. So thank you very much, Jay. We are also fortunate to work with 9 other members of the Peoria staff team this semester. These are really important project leads, so they work directly with our faculty and students to help investigate the city's proposed challenges. We also want to recognize the executive leadership for the city and elected officials who have supported this partnership model. It is safe to say that without their support, this wouldn't have happened. So we want to give them a wonderful, thank you and round of applause for that. Here today, we have City Manager Jeff Tyne and I believe Council Member Bridget Binsbacher, of course, Jay Davies, and probably several others. Your support and engagement with student projects has been instrumental to our partnership's success, so we want to say thank you. We also want to thank our faculty and administrator colleagues at ASU who have helped steer all of the project-based learning processes through the pandemic. Faculty can make all the difference in the learning experience for students and also the success of the project. So we feel we are very fortunate to have a very talented group of faculty that probably shine above the rest when it comes to working with students and on community projects. And last but not least, let's recognize the stars of the show today, an incredible mix of 68 students from across Arizona State University, including master's There are 8 capstone projects, 3 small groups, and 1 studio course. So yeah, congratulations to you all today. We're very excited to highlight all of your hard work this semester. And of course, it's been an interesting semester nonetheless, being virtual for most of us. So with that, I'll turn it over to Steve.
All right, thanks for that. And next, it's my pleasure to introduce our first speaker today, Dr. Chris Boone. Dr. Boone is the Dean of the new College of Global Futures here at ASU. He's formerly the Dean of the School of Sustainability and has been a longtime supporter of SCN and project-based learning more generally, more broadly, and really the value of community-embedded programs like Project Cities. So with that, it's my pleasure to hand it over to Dr. Boone for some opening remarks.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you, Ann, and thanks to everyone who's been engaged with this process. Let me start by saying this, and I've said this many times before, I'm a huge fan of Project Cities for so many reasons. One, I think it's fundamentally important when we're preparing the next generation of leaders as they graduate to have as much experiential learning as possible. So taking what they're learning in the classroom, which is important, the fundamentals, some of the abstract work that's done, and applying that in real world context, working in this case with local partners. It's also a really important part of the ASU charter. I think most of you are familiar with that. I mean, there's 3 principal components. One is that we measure our excellence not by whom we exclude, but by whom we include and how they succeed. The second is that we're a comprehensive research university, and we have a responsibility for conducting research and discovery that is in the realm of the public good. And thirdly is that we are responsible for the overall health and well-being of the communities that we serve. And we take all of those principles really seriously, and I think Project Cities exemplifies each one of those. So the other thing that I found in the years that we've been doing this is it's a great opportunity for our students to understand the value and importance of local government in getting things done. It's the local government people know this, but for many students who may not have had the chance to work with local government organizations beforehand, recognizing that you can do some really impactful work that has immediate impact, hopefully has been gratifying to all of you. I know that from past experience that many students who participate in this program end up working in local government afterwards, and we certainly need talented, dedicated people in those positions. So that's all I want to say today, because what I really want to do is hear from the stars of the show, which are the students and of course the partners from the city of Peoria. So thanks again to the city of Peoria. You've been a great partner. You're providing our students with, as I said, a really amazing opportunity to think through how they can take what they're learning in their classes and applying it to things that matter to you. And of course, that's a flip side from the unfortunate history of a lot of academic or town-gown relationships where academics would tell communities what they should be doing. The fact that you have come up with these priorities and presented them to us as challenges, I think, is a really healthy way to engage. So thanks again for inviting me here today, and I look forward to hearing the presentations.
Thanks so much, Chris. Yes, it is very important. And that's one of our priorities for Project Cities and Sustainable Cities Network is meeting cities and towns where they're at. So really listening to what their challenges are and allowing us to provide capacity in solving some of those critical issues. So at this time, I would like to introduce again Jeff Tyne, who is the city manager for the city of Peoria, so that he can introduce our esteemed council member, Ben Spacher, and also say a few words about Peoria. Peoria has a wealth of experience, I think, when it comes to city administration. I think at the last showcase, we had almost 70 years of experience in attendance just with just a few people. So we're very excited to have Jeff with us. He is an ASU alumni and holds a Master of Public Administration and a BS in Political Science. So with that, I would like to hand it over to Jeff to do his introductions and his opening remarks.
Well, thank you very much. It's great to see Anne and Stephen, and thank you very much for the comments from Dean Boone. And it's great to see all of you yet again. Had a great chance to talk with you over the last couple of months, and I think Anna hit it exactly right. What a weird semester it's been. Really would have loved to have been there more in person. But you know, we've been here before. Project Cities is one of the key collaborations we have with higher education. And the insight that you provided us in the past, that ultimately becomes the guidance that our council and myself have been giving to staff. Soon after you're done with this doesn't get put off in a shelf. These things get put into play. And that's why this is so meaningful to all of us. So as we review some of these projects, you know, I love to look back at some of the high quality products that all of you have done in the past. And what happens is we see a whole set of fresh eyes and a much needed perspective on things that oftentimes we don't see because we're working on it on a day-to-day basis. And so we just love the amazing insight and analysis that we just otherwise wouldn't have seen. So the work that you're all doing and that we're going to be hearing about here matters for two reasons. The real life issues, for one. When you look at what you worked on this semester, messaging for water conservation, recycling, urban forestry, affordable housing, these are the issues that we're worried about now because they're inevitably going to be more pronounced in the future. And so the timing for these couldn't be more perfect. And there's another reason. These fresh perspectives, they open up our thinking. Your energy, it's contagious. And you can see that with our liaisons that we have with that. You're spurring all of us on as well to be the best professionals that we can be. And so we want to rise up to the challenge that you put to us. And we thank you for that. Can't tell you how impressed we are with the caliber, again, of this faculty who has led all of you and all of you that have really just stood up. The questions, your line of thinking, you've been spot on in all of the types of ways that we like to approach strategies, but then you do it in a way that I would never necessarily do. I just love the collaboration that we have. You have a body of elected officials and you have a community that are so eager to see how these partnerships are going to be put into play and produce real world results. And what you're going to be hearing about shortly is Councilmember Bridget Binsbacher, who is just supportive of so much of all that you're doing, and you'll be able to hear from her. She'll talk, I'm sure, a lot about the importance of having a visible and lasting legacy in Peoria. That's what we're here for. That's what I am as a city manager, is to help bring that council vision into play. And the way they do that is they've identified different what we call livability initiatives. So the biggest vision items that they have, quite frankly, they relate to long-term sustainability goals. And that's why this ties so well with the Sustainable Cities Network and with Project Cities, and why we look so forward to hearing more about your items today. So with that, I'm not sure if I introduce Councilmember Binsbacher or pass it over to you, Anne.
You're welcome to hand it right over to
cool.
Councilmember Binsbacher.
Thank you very much. So with that, I'd like to introduce Councilmember Bridget Binsbacher. She represents one of the districts, but also, quite frankly, our largest growing district. You're going to be hearing, I'm sure, her perspectives on that, but also is someone that is so passionate about a lot of the issues related to sustainability. She is our representative on the Arizona Municipal Water Users Association, for example, and is also involved in a number of regional collaborative efforts that you'll be hearing about: transportation, different tourism-based activities and the like. So hopefully she is on the line. If so, I'll pass it over to Councilmember Binsbacher.
I'm here. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Anne, and everyone. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here this morning and be able to have the opportunity to address such an amazing group of students and faculty. And I am so honored to celebrate with all of you our third year of collaboration on this Project Cities program. I love this Project Cities program. Peoria could not ask for a better partner than Arizona State University, which continues to be recognized globally as a top-ranked knowledge enterprise focused on solutions to society's greatest challenges, advancing a better life for all, which is very much aligned with the city of Peoria. And Jeff mentioned how I represent the Mesquite District, which is the largest and fastest growing district in our city. And it brings so many challenges, but it's also a tremendous opportunity to get it right. And one of the greatest things about local government that I love and enjoy being a part of, I just don't see myself in another area of government because I'm so connected to people. And the decisions and the policy that we make as a governing body affects people's lives, hands-on, day to day. So we're honored to have ASU working alongside us in Peoria. And we've created and refined an exceptional program, a program that can impact the way we live and the future that we realize. I'm pleased to be with you today reviewing the results and findings of your work in this third year, which, you know, I hope we are able to do this many years to come because it's so meaningful to how we grow our city and manage our city. It's exciting to think about the collective potential and enthusiasm in this group of future leaders that are ready to solve some of the emerging opportunities and challenges facing our fast-growing city. And, you know, again, we're here today to listen to the findings and learn about your findings and recommendations. But I want to acknowledge that, you know, we realize that this has been such a challenging year, which everyone has referenced, and the circumstances that you have faced to be able to continue to stay engaged and, you know, have the same energy and focus through just a different way of approaching all of this. So I'm so grateful that you were able to continue to move forward and get to this point. It's, you know, a tremendous feat. It really is. And so over the past years, our collaboration has tackled some very complex topics, which, you know, Jeff mentioned water resources and real world issues such as transit, placemaking, smart city technologies. This semester's work will help advance our efforts around sustainability, urban forestry, and attainable housing. 3 very real world opportunities facing our organization. And again, the city is quickly growing and developing, but we're also only half built. And so it's just a blank canvas for us to be able to just affect some real change in people's lives in the future for many generations to come. So as we get into learning more and hearing more about your findings, I really want you all to remember and know how much we appreciate the magnitude of what's happening here today. Because the projects that you'll be presenting are just, you know, far beyond what we're talking about today. They can truly impact, you know, Peoria and our residents for generations to come. So you are really helping us to affect some incredible change in real life situations. And someday I'm going to assume you're all going to move to Peoria because we're so proud of our city and live there and walk our streets and enjoy all of our community amenities and just our amazing quality of life. You can see firsthand that the work you're doing is impacting, you know, real lives, real communities, and there's nothing more rewarding than that. So again, whether you are walking our streets or go on to a future somewhere else, wherever that may be, just know that the work that you've done here today is so critical to our community and people's lives. And so on behalf of the city of Peoria and the city of council, the mayor and the council, we want to thank you for your efforts, for your enthusiasm, for your commitment to doing this amazing work to help us better serve our citizens and work towards a brighter future. Doing that with the next generation of leaders and this caliber of leaders that all of you are is truly an honor. And I thank ASU for this tremendous partner, and I just look forward to hearing all of the results of your hard work. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you for this partnership.
Well, thank you so much, Councilmember Binsbacher. It's so great to see you again. And one of these days, we're going to meet in person. I believe it.
Yes.
I'll piggyback on something the council member mentioned. Soft plug, Peoria was just voted #1 place to live, work, and play in Arizona. It's a really, really incredible city, and students, as you've seen here today, it really comes from the top, from the leadership, is really invested in the community and making the community a better place to live. So thank you to our speakers, Dr. Boone, City Manager Jeff Tyne, Councilmember Bridget Binsbacher, and of course, Ann, our director here at SCN. Really, we couldn't do this work without you. And of course, our students.